today's lesson, we're going to be going over the layers alignment in Photoshop 2018. So, as you can see, I'll be working on the alignment PSD file, which you can find on the link below to work along with me. And so up here's your options bar. You can see how you can align each one of these. So notice that there's nothing highlighted. Basically, I can't really choose any of these. So you have to have more than one layer selected, and then they'll start showing up. And you notice that I have a circle paint in each one of my layers. Okay, if you had two circles on one layer, you would not be able to use this alignment tool. You only can align different layers and the paint that's in the layer. So notice back here too, each one of these checkerboard object or checkerboard squares right over here, those indicate that it's a transparent background. So all your layers basically are transparent except for the paint in them. Okay. And of course your background is not transparent, but you can turn this into a layer by unlocking it and renaming it. Edit, undo. So has nothing to do with alignment, but just wanted to let you know that. Some stuff I'm going to throw out there as we go through as for shortcuts and stuff. Speaking of which, sometimes I like to work on just one layer. Let's say number 4. And I'd like to come over here and get rid of each one of these. So I sit there, and that's a little bit tedious to turn these back on one at a time, especially if you have 100 different layers that you're working on. So you can actually come up to 3, hold down the button, and go all the way down. Same thing, put them back, go back. Yeah, that's a little bit quicker, but there is a better way to do it, because what if you wanted layer 2 and you only wanted to see layer 2? So then now you have to go up and then you got to go down, which is still faster than clicking each one. But if you go over to this hide and show, hold down the Alt button or the option on the Mac, click, there you go. Get it back, it's back again. Again, go to 4, hold it down, and turn everything back on. So that's just something a little bit quicker to do. Alright, so let's get back into the alignment stuff here. So if you notice, we have 2 selected, so we can move 2. Oh, can't do that. 3, you have to go over here, hit that, and then go to 3. Well, you can go up here, hit Autoselect, Layer, then click on anything you want like that. So, but there is also another way, so you don't, because sometimes, you get on top and you select something and it basically doesn't select. So you can hold down the Control key and click. So we'll move, then go back to 3, Control key down. See how it, now this is in 2018, remember, so this doesn't do this in other ones. Oh, sorry. Got this auto select. You need to turn that off. That's ridiculous. All right. So Now, it's a lot easier to do this than the auto select, I think. You have more control, basically. You won't forget like I just did and hold that up there. And it's a little bit more convenient. You don't have to keep up going over here and selecting. Alright, so let's go ahead and select 4. Then we got up here, we have a line to the top, which we'll do that. Edit, undo. Now the top means the topmost object. It's going to align with the topmost layer. Shouldn't say object. Again, I want to say object. That's in Adobe Illustrator. These are layers. Center, it'll go between the center line from the top here and the bottom here. Edit or undo. We can go through there, and let's say you want it evenly spaced. Now when you distribute it, it's going to go basically from this paint to this paint, evenly distributed. Nice tool to have. Again, remember each of the paints that you want to align has to be in its own layer. Okay. One other thing over here we have at the end right here is your panoramic button. So it says auto align layers, but what's nice about this one, I'll flip over to my pictures here real quick. So this here, I stood in a spot, one spot, and then I just did like a 180. So I went from the Cosmopolitan right here, all in front of the Bellagio, and then ended up over here looking at Caesar's Palace. So we highlight all these, and we hit this. So we have the different ones that we can select. Just go ahead and hit auto to get the best looking one, because you want a flat panoramic without it being, I don't know, fish-eyed basically on the corners there. So, and then you end up with a decent panoramic then. And you might want to just go like this, just for, this isn't in this lesson, but I'm going to show you a little bit what you can do real quick. And then you can go in and touch up the background so all your blues are the same. I mean, you can do auto if you just want to start playing without going into the other tools right now. But so that's a quick way to get a nice panoramic. There's other ways we'll be going through later on, but this one here, it was fairly easy to do. And so that's how we do that. You can play with that, have fun with those. Next lesson, we're going to be looking at different layer options and also how to group the layers and work within the groups and layers. All right, everyone. Thank you, and remember to subscribe and like the video if you like it. Thank you.